I had my first full cigarette, not a full one. I apparently butt fucked it because I don't know how to properly smoke a cigarette.
Apparently, you're not supposed to stick cigarettes up your butt.
You can say it was a funny story.
Good. Yeah. He's already on us. Okay, show.
Oh, no. Before we jump into this very special episode of Chummy Thumbs, first of all, thank you for tuning in. And we have collectively discussed the fact that we're what? Double digits in, right? We're
Double D's.
This is episode 12.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
We're better than double D's.
Yeah, so by now, I hope that you kind of get a general idea of what we're about, what we kind of talk about, which is anything and everything.
Yeah.
I guess our sense of humor, as Hayden would say, humor. But I feel like you guys don't really know us on a personal level. It might be better for you guys to, get to know us. I mean, I barely know this guy. I know he's from Australia and likes Vegemite or Marmite or whatever the fuck.
Get it right. It is Vegemite.
Yeah. You know, I remember. Yeah.
Get it right.
That's pretty much
Vegemite.
That's pretty much all I know.
New slogan. Nice.
Fucking just a slogan master.
But before we do a deep dive into the life of Hayden Woodhead, I actually have something for you guys. I didn't tell you.
Oh, what? You got a surprise? Hold on a second. By the way, for those of you not watching the video, Shao has got the fucking sexiest sweatpants on right now. And as soon as I saw him, oh my God, bend over, pick it up again. I need to talk to you after the show where we got these.
Very nice.
Okay, let's open this package here. What are we looking at?
Just to commemorate.
Oh, what is this? A little mug?
A little.
Oh my God. Oh, my God. My God.
I'm gonna catch up.
Are you kidding me?
So, guys,
Brabe. Look at that. Look at these people showing the camera.
Chummy Thumbs.
Cheers, boys. Oh, wait. I didn't fill it up.
you're gonna fucking put your Slurpee in there?
No, I brought water, which is weird for me. You know it's hot in Vancouver when I drink water.
Yeah.
Actually, I probably shouldn't.
Slurp.
Oh, whatever.
These are washed. I'm guessing you washed these, right? Yeah, I don't care
Packing
about
dust
that.
in it.
Oh, listen to that. Can you people hear that? Oh, now that
Justin's actually just
now that I'm
relieving
relieved,
himself into a cup.
yeah.
It tastes extra chummy.
Extra chummy. Okay, and Hayden, will you enlighten us on the teabaggarooskies today?
Yeah, and guess who this one's from?
If you fucking say Emily Dixon.
Is it MD? Is it MD?
It's MD.
Oh,
She's coming
God.
back with the vengeance.
God damn it.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
You really wanted a yes on that.
Usually it's rhetorical.
Yeah.
No, with me, it's always like, I
need
need
the-
to know. I come from a house where there's a lot of people that talk, so I need to know when it's time for me to talk.
Oh,
Permission granted.
permission.
Oh, thank you. How strange that nature does not knock and yet does not intrude.
Ooh, fuck. I like that one.
Hold on.
Oh, boy. Don't.
Nature doesn't intrude?
Oh, okay. Well, when you put it that way.
You know what I mean?
He did say it with the sass. When you put it with the sass.
but
Wait a minute. Nature doesn't intrude? It's like, yeah, you're right. It does.
It
Kinda.
does.
But
Tsunamis, I don't fucking know. I don't know.
Is
It's
that
kind of like we're
are
having
they?
a peaceful thing, and then we don't have to get deep into it.
I think we intrude on nature more than nature
100%.
intrudes on us.
That's true.
So maybe it's just getting even.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, like any good Emily Dickinson quote, it does provoke a conversation.
It does. And I have to say that's probably the best one that he's brought to the table so far.
Yeah, thank you for that.
So I appreciate that.
That's why he was late today. He was looking for it.
He was.
He was going through his
yeah,
drawer.
that's right. His drawer.
Hundreds of opened tea bags
Yeah.
to find the one good one. And I was like,
yes.
I hope this nature one
Yeah.
pleases. And it did.
It did.
I quite enjoyed it. You sort of sucked the life and joy out of it for me from a
I
little bit.
know.
I really liked it
I'm
because
not-
I'm a nature guy.
Sure.
I love.
Was that your was Ric Flair your favorite wrestler?
No, I'm not a nature boy. I'm a nature guy.
Who's your favorite wrestler? Did you have one?
Woo!
I never got.
You never watched?
No, I wanted wrestlers. I was so sick and tired of playing with my sister's Barbies when I was a kid, and my mom was like, "We finally got you the wrestlers you wanted for one Christmas." And could you put that down a little bit quieter, please? And he was so gentle.
that one?
He was so gentle.
Well, because you know it's going to hit these microphones and it's going to be like, clonk.
Yeah, you can tell you're in
Like when
the
you
film
unzip
industry.
in the bathroom.
Oh yeah,
Wow. Kathunk.
Kastunk.
Well, he wanted a Hulk-sized Kathunk last week or whenever it was. So
You know, you don't get them very often. But no, I was never into wrestling. I kind of always thought it was cheesy.
It is.
Yeah, but I was never
I
into
still
it.
bought into it. I still bought into it. I really liked it. Did you ever watch it?
no, because it was one of the channels that we didn't have in Australia.
I do.
You had to pay-per-view for like almost everything, unless you had cable, which we never.
So only the pay-per-view events?
They had no Monday Night Raw.
Potentially.
We didn't have cable TV, so we didn't, which cost a lot of money. So we just had the standard free-to-air when I was growing up.
You know what I like about this right here? This segues into what we wanted to do this week.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead. So this week, like Xiao alluded to earlier, that, you know, you guys have been along with us on this journey so far. Maybe you're new to this episode. We wanted to just take this time to let you guys in a little bit about us. And we're going to have some fun with it. So Hey is going to start us off. He is, and we're going to maybe try and make it into a little scene, see if it works. If it's terrible, then maybe we'll abort. But we are going to do good cop, bad cop. Xiao, are you good cop or bad cop with Hey? I can't remember.
I thought you guys would.
It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
And we can just switch it up after. But
Sure.
So
why didn't you have fucking cable television growing up?
it started.
I'm scared. I want to talk to this guy first.
You don't.
You're the good cop.
Oh, you think you dictate how this conversation goes?
Well, usually, yeah, that's how it goes. You
No,
have to get
that's-
it out of me.
Yeah. So why the fuck didn't you have cable television growing up?
You really don't know how it works, do you? I could sit back and not talk at all because I'm scared. But I'll play nice.
You could.
And then we'd have a lovely episode of
It's just
silence.
Yeah, just me swearing. Dog, why didn't you have cable TV?
Okay, let's first of all, full name, please.
I was ready to
No,
answer.
no, full name, please.
Yeah,
We're
right,
running
we should
this.
probably
Full
start
name,
with that.
please.
Hayden Belvedere. No, not really.
We don't take lightly to jokes in this interrogation room.
Oh, okay, sorry. Hayden John Woodhead.
Age and birthday. Or birthday.
Birthday.
And year.
And year. Okay, it's November 1st, 1919.
Nice.
1985, for those playing along at home.
And gender, please.
Squid.
You identify as a squid.
Male.
Okay, so it's, according to our
Australian.
file, you have been charged several counts of things. One being public urination,
Indecent exposure.
indecent exposure, several strikes on that one.
Yep.
You've been seen around a park, a children's park, several times.
Which you're supposed to remain 50 feet clear of.
Only 50? Oh, okay.
Yep. 50
I
yard.
thought it was 500.
50 big feet. You're allowed to look from across the street. It wasn't that bad what you're charged with.
Answer me this question. What were you doing last week, Monday, the 15th of July?
What was I doing?
Interesting.
Monday.
Doesn't remember. Strange.
Oh,
It's not too long ago.
Well, when this comes out, it'll be a week and a bit ago, so it's a stretch.
Yeah,
of
but
my
this is
brain.
today. This is today. Answer the question.
He said last week.
Yeah,
on
last week, the
15th,
15th.
yeah.
which is only 2 days plus a week ago.
Yeah.
I was tending to my garden on my acreage.
Is there anyone that can vouch for that?
Who lives on you with this acreage?
Okay, who first?
Him. Definitely him.
My alibi, fiance, was there with me.
So you have a fiance.
I have a fiance, yes.
And how long have you and your fiance been engaged, or do you not remember that either?
That one
It took place
remember.
over a week and a half ago, so you might.
It's coming up. Oh, that's a good question. I think it's just past 2 years.
Interesting. Your
'Cause it's
memory
Mother's
seems
Day.
to.
My memory sucks very badly.
Is this something that you've always had to deal with as a kid?
I don't know if it was a memory issue or if I had like attention disorders undiagnosed, but also as an adult, it with the more stresses in life, it's more. Sometimes I just blank out and only focus on survival Hayden, which is bad when you have a family that you have to also remember about.
Yes.
Not that I forget about the family, just that, oh, we've got this coming up, we've got this coming up, we've got this coming up. Don't you remember? I'm like, yeah, I do remember when I'm told, when it triggers the memory.
Yeah.
But most of the time I can sometimes, when I'm like busy with work or too many things to edit or too many things to write, and all of these things add up, and then I'm like, oh, all I've got to do is Hayden stuff.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Now, when you proposed to, what's your fiance's name?
Her name is Alex.
Alex. When you proposed to Alex, did you know, was it discussed beforehand?
With her?
Yeah.
No.
Ooh, so it was a straight up, so it was just a straight up surprise? You didn't even like ask her for consent to propose?
Despicable.
Unbelievable. But okay, so because a lot of people, that conversation comes up before the proposal happens. So it was a complete surprise for her.
I'm going to say yes, because I had spoken in depth with her the 7 years prior.
Right.
7 years.
That I was not one to get married.
Right.
Because I was burned, not with ever being a fiance of someone before, but relationships before that kind of made me go, I don't ever want to do that. And she was content with that. So, but then as time went on, you mature as a person, or I did. And same with the children thing, but you didn't ask me that, so I won't go into that. But I came to the conclusion that I was like, I do want to do this, and this is the person that I want to do it with. So I spoke to her mother about it, because her dad wasn't around at the time. So instead of, the old asking the father for permission for the daughter's hand, it was like, I'm not asking her mum, but I was just talking to her about it. And the funny thing was, I brought it up as a joke. Not as a joke, but she's like, no. I brought
Was thinking about proposing to your daughter.
Right.
Nat.
The joke part is that my future mother-in-law was like, yeah, I'll give you my credit card and you can buy the ring. And I was like, ha ha ha, very funny. And then she was like, whoosh, she just threw it at me. And she's like, there you go.
And that's where you got this cut from.
Yeah. I was wondering why you.
I've got this V in the middle of my forehead from poof.
That's good. Were you nervous?
Oh, hell yeah.
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 Okay. Did you prepare a speech, or did you not a written speech, but did you,
know what you're going to say? How you're going
Yes,
to do it?
and then of course it did not come out at all
Never.
like I thought. But I had the location and the way that it was done, and that all worked for me. And actually, even a nature thing worked in my favor as well.
Can you elaborate on that nature thing, please?
Yes, I can. So we were living with her grandma at the time, in sunny Tawasin, which is a coastal community for those of you outside of Vancouver. And it's where when she was born, she actually lived there like Harry Potter in the office closet for like the first little bit before they moved out to their own house.
Mm.
So it was
So
kind
like
of
your office.
Yeah. So it was sort of a full circle thing. And it was Mother's Day. So her sister had just had a baby. So it was kind of like celebrating the mums, like the grandmother, mum, and a sister and whatnot. So I was like, and I don't think it was the actual Mother's Day, but it was Mother's Day weekend. So I wasn't taking away from the mothers by doing this. Mm-hmm. But outside of her house was a giant like cherry blossom tree. So all of the flowers had fallen onto the grass. And what I had done was I had spoken to all of my parents, like my dad, my mum, my stepdad, her mum, and I can't even remember, but I asked them for their favorite like fabrics. And I gathered all the fabrics and I wove them together, and then I made like a Tibetan endless knot, and I put it in the box with the ring. And then as her mum like pulled her outside, funny story, there was I had to figure out a time when to get her outside away from the family.
Right.
And it was going to be, I was going to make them like a specialty coffee, and then that would be the time when, but of course, Alex in her infinite,
Careful.
Easy, boy.
she has got infinite wisdom, but she has the tenacity to make things happen accidentally. So she wanted to get her mum a coffee. She wanted to make one for herself, but that was like what we were planning to do to get her out of the house. But she was the one so she almost manufactured her own proposal earlier than it was supposed to happen. So her mum had to drag her out the front. She's like, oh, I need a hand taking something out of the car. Mm-hmm. She's like, okay, there's like nothing in the car. But she went out with her mum, and then I went out the front, and we circled around the house. And so as I was going around, the cherry blossoms were there. So I scooped up a bunch of the petals and I threw them in the box, closed it up, went around the side. And then, of course, she came around. She's like, what the are you doing? Like, she's like, why are you outside?
Did she? Oh, so but you were there with them to begin with?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we were all living in the same house. And her family had come from Langley to there because we were having the Mother's Day lunch thing. But yeah, it was kind of funny. She's like, what the fuck are you doing like outside? You're supposed to be inside.
Listen, bitch, I'll go where I want.
And then her mum had the video out, and it was so awkward, but because your brain runs through like every single Hollywood movie ever.
Yeah.
Like it's going to go so smoothly.
Oh,
you
yeah.
This awesome speech. And then you kind of just fumble the words, and you get down on your knee and you present the ring. And it was,
Aww.
Time out. A word with Detective Smith, please.
Yeah.
I think he's manipulating us. I'm starting to feel I have a soft spot for this guy.
You gotta
and I
harden
think
up.
I don't think we're gonna get enough information. We gotta backtrack. We gotta.
I think we gotta go back a bit. Yeah. Is it true that you are in this country illegally?
It is not true.
Do you have the documents with you?
I might actually.
And when,
well, let's save up for later.
we don't necessarily.
No,
as long as you have.
I don't carry it with me. I do have permanent residency.
Okay, where are you? Where are you originally from?
I'm from the land down under. I'm from Australia.
Whereabouts in Australia?
Capital boy. I'm from
Canberra.
And what was it like growing up there?
I am the biggest champion of my hometown. I love it there, even though I'm not there anymore. So it was good.
Can you be more specific than good?
What was good? If you let me bloody talk. Sorry, I know you. Am I taking over this interrogation now?
Yeah. Just settle down.
Look at this guy.
What
Please don't smoke.
What was so? Yeah, we make the rules. What was your?
It was the good card.
What did you like so much about growing up in Canberra, capital city?
Its nickname is the Bush Capital.
Okay.
So,
Well, okay.
do you want me to elaborate or not?
Yep.
So I get the best of both worlds. You get the major city, but you also get to turn a corner and then all of a sudden you're in the middle of nowhere in nature. So Canberra is set up in a series of valleys. So it's hidden from certain points of view. You don't see the city centers because there will be a valley or a hill, not a mountain, because our mountains are tiny apparently. When I took Alex there, she was like, those aren't mountains. That is literally a hill. And
Yeah.
I mean, when you look out the window here at the Rockies, and that's the start of the Rockies,
Yeah.
the small part, they're massive. The largest peak in Australia, you can actually take a leisurely walk up, no problems. It takes a couple of hours, but it's only like,
So it is a hill.
it's a hill, yeah.
Okay. That's
But
cute.
leisurely. You don't have to, well, you do have to have some kind of fitness, but you can do it in a day.
I leisurely scaled a mountain back in.
It's got a nice wide path, and you get to the top, and then there's a little like stone that you can stand on and be like, I'm at the top of Australia.
Now, Mr. Woodhead,
Yes,
I had heard you
that's
speak
understandable.
previously about academics. And
Good question.
one of the reasons why you don't have the iconic Australian accent, and you had alluded to growing up with your mother and your stepfather, and had you grown up with your stepfather, you'd probably have a different accent. So can you just get a bit into that? Were you at your mom and stepdad's for years, or how did that work? Like, what was your time split between one family, your both families?
My mother had sole custody of my brother and I,
Okay.
and she split from my dad when I was 2. I
Okay.
think so. But he was around all the time. He was there every weekend and every birthday, holiday, all of that stuff. But my stepdad came along pretty soon after, when I was about 3 or 4, I think. And he was a teacher, and his family were all teachers. And his dad was I never met his dad because he passed away before, like, we were even around. He was an archaeologist. So that whole family were musicians, actors, and academics. And then that's why our family got absorbed into that. It's also where sports came from. And then my dad, when we did see him, it was always motorcycles and cars. So that was a different sort of thing. But yeah, the first, up until I was 21, it was just with my mum and stepdad and my brother. And that's probably why I got into university, because my stepdad ended up, he's a principal now. So he was like climbing the ladder of academics in the school system of Canberra. So not that he was a hard ass, but it instilled in me a good sense of learning and doing your work. So, yeah.
What were you like as a child? Would you get into trouble?
Oh, I was a rat bag. I was horrible.
A rat bag.
A rat bag.
Can you think of some things that got you into deep trouble, or things that you got away with that might have gotten you into trouble?
Well, I was only a terrible kid up until high school. Because then I went to the same high school that my stepdad was a teacher at. So I had to smarten up. I couldn't be like a bad kid in high school. So it was like the primary school, elementary school years was a little bit wild. But I think
Did you cut class and stuff like that?
never cut. I had a perfect attendance.
What does wild mean then?
Wild means I used to climb giant pine trees in the playground.
Oh, you're a kid.
I was a kid.
Oh,
Yeah, but like all
That
the way
explains
to
why he
the
likes
top.
being in parks.
Yeah,
yeah,
it
that's
does. But then also in the
that down.
school, the school was built in like the 70s. And little side note here, in Canberra, there was a decline in like the population, like of the young population. So everybody aged up and no one was having kids for a bit. So all of these schools got shut down because there's not enough people in these suburbs to fill the schools. And now the city is shooting up immensely. It's like in the last 5 years, it's probably almost doubled in size. But anyway, my primary school, it got burnt down by vandals.
Write this down. Write this down.
Arsonists.
Arsonist. And they were like, okay, great. Now we're going to use this as a reason to close it because it's so damaged. And they're like, nah, historical building. It won like architectural awards for design. So they kept it open, which was good. I got to finish my elementary years before I went off to high school. But it used to have these big vaulted like ceilings that were 2-story high, even though it was only a 1-story high school. But in them they had the big metal support beams, and I like to climb them. Like, you know how you see those guys climbing the coconut trees where they're like literally like, or even like
What
lumberjacks.
Can you be more specific? What do they look like?
The guys that work in tourism places, tourists.
Do they look like him or do they look like me?
They look like neither of you. It could be anywhere. It could be anywhere tropical. It could be Mexican. Could be
grab
Fiji.
our? Should we get the sketch artist?
yeah, yeah.
That's why I changed it and said, like, you know how you see tree climbers, lumberjacks, how they scale trees.
Oh, okay. Oh, lumberjacks. Okay.
Yeah.
So more like me.
I'll put it in terms that you will understand. Lumberjack.
So you would scale
I would
those.
climb those, and of course, it would terrify everybody, and it would get you in a lot of trouble. But there used to be a ledge at the top where the windows were, and you used to be able to lay on those ledges up there.
Oh, is that where you went up to smoke cigarettes?
No, because I was too young.
Okay. So you're not allowed to smoke cigarettes. So you didn't do anything before you were of legal age growing up?
No.
No?
I do have a funny cigarette story, actually, though. Before anyone of our friendship group was old enough to buy them or have any friends that were old enough to buy them, we used to go around like where the teachers would smoke at the front of the school and pick out all the butts that still had a little bit left on it.
Oh God!
Oh, yeah.
And then you'd all practice like smoking the dirty butts, and of course you'd get the filters, and it would just be horrendous.
A little bit of hepatitis C, you know.
Back then, everybody was clean back then, you know. It's the same when I went through university. No, everybody would share drinks, and then all of a sudden, like 10 years later, it would be like, cover your drinks, don't share drinks, saliva swapping is bad, everyone's going to get Hep A, Hep B, you know, all this stuff, which is, it can happen, but most people are clean, I like to think.
So you never smoked cigarettes, never drank underage. Have you ever experimented with any illicit drugs?
I just told you that I did the cigarettes. I didn't do it underage. When I had my first full cigarette, not a full one, I apparently butt fucked it because I don't know how to properly smoke a cigarette.
Quotes. Apparently, you're not supposed to stick cigarettes up your butt.
You did say it was a funny story.
No, it was normal. I don't know. Like my buddy, he worked for Domino's Pizza, so he knew the first bunch of guys that were 18 or older. So he was the guy to get cigarettes from and alcohol from. But then when we were old enough to all go out on the town, he became a full-on smoker. And he was like, yeah, you got to just try a cigarette, Hayden. I was like, no, I don't want to. He's like, just fucking try. He used to like try to manhandle everybody.
Peer pressure.
Yeah. And some of my other buddies started smoking as well, but they're in the military, and the military actively encourages smoking as a calming thing. So,
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes. Sure.
So they're all smokers, and I was like, not the one, but he's like, here. So I took 2 puffs, and he's like, you butt fucked it. That's wrong. Like, I'm like, how is it? Like, what? How am I supposed to do it? Like,
Do you suck in the air when you were butt fucking, or do you suck the smoke into your mouth and then inhale from your mouth?
I could not recall. It was like 20 years ago. So
You suck it into your mouth first, yeah, and then
because it's different than like a cigar
yes, yeah.
Correct.
Cigars, they say you're not supposed to inhale,
At all.
Because it just
but
destroys
I
your
can't.
mouth.
I can't.
When I was smoking. As this isn't about me. Okay, so back to the illicit drugs. Ever experiment?
Yes, but I'm not going to incriminate myself more than that. I also drank underage.
Oh,
Okay,
there we go.
okay.
There we
Well,
go.
did you ever try Cancun?
Cancun. All I can tell you, because it's legal in this country now, is that I have tried. I did not inhale. I've tried
No, you can't
marijuana.
incriminate yourself. People talk about doing drugs.
Yeah, no. I've never done anything harder than marijuana.
Okay. Yeah. Did you just tried it? Did you like enjoy it for a while? I mean, I know a lot of people used to smoke a lot in their youth and then stopped when they were older. Or did you just want to see what it was all about, try it, and went, eh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Did you feel anything the first time? Because
Sleepy.
my
and then
friend,
entirely,
yeah.
incredibly hungry. Sorry.
yeah.
What was your friend?
No giggles? You didn't laugh a lot?
We were like 14 or 15.
Okay, so I don't think he felt the effects of it.
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
Hard to say.
A lot of people in their first time doing it actually don't feel anything.
I didn't until the third. I mean, my friend didn't feel it until the third.
My friend didn't feel it till the second time, and when he felt it, he turned into
felt
an
it,
animal. Yeah.
right?
Yeah, a sperm to be exact. But anyways,
You turned into a sperm? Oh, your friend did. So
my
your
friend did. Yeah.
Your other officer friend.
Let me ask you something. What does this image mean to you?
Mai Tai 2 times. That means my brother wrote a book.
Oh, you have a brother. You said you have siblings. Can you tell me more about your author brother? What was your relationship with?
Your incredibly successful writing brother.
Very good. Most people.
He's older, correct?
He is older, yeah. He's 20 months older.
20 months older.
So he remembers that very specifically.
Very specific. 'Cause
he's my
But
brother.
some
It's
other
very
things-
interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
See, I'm born at the end of 1985. He's born at the beginning of 1984.
1984.
We can do math too.
With a slight delay so you can get the year correct.
And what did you guys do growing up for fun?
Were you guys,
know?
yeah. Were you guys like best bud brothers, or were you brothers who fought a lot when you were younger and tight now?
Never fought. Never ever fought. We never rumbled, never tumbled. We played sports together. Like,
Oh, let me guess, like ice hockey, lacrosse,
real
probably.
Curling.
Okay.
how do you Canadians
I might be too upset to
feel?
continue with this interrogation.
I grew up in Australia, remember? We don't have
He said
ice
real
there.
sports. He said I play real sports, meaning ice hockey is not a real sport. Okay, let's
Not in Australia. It's
Guilty.
let's turn up the bad cop.
Put the phone book away, please. I don't want to have bruising that's not visible.
That's right. So had a good relationship with him. No rough stuff.
No, I mean, when I was younger, I used to want attention because I was, younger.
Yeah.
So he used to have a
I still want
pacifier.
attention.
So I would steal it and either throw it over the fence or in the toilet.
That's awesome.
But that you grow out of
Yeah.
within however many years you're not having that anymore. So what do? I've got nothing. So
Yeah.
but
Let's talk a little bit about your obsession with
Music?
music teas and music in general.
Yeah.
For those of you only listening, he's wearing a Motley Crue T-shirt. You've been to see them live?
I have, yes.
Can you name all the members?
How many times?
Only the once, because they never. Well, all the times that they came to Australia, we were either not there or too young to go, and then, or the members were like ODing and almost dying. But when they were doing their farewell tour, and my brother was like, "If at least one of us gets to see them, one of us should go." So he got me tickets to go see
Nice.
them in Vancouver here. And you've got Tommy Lee, Vince Neil, Mick Mars, Nikki Sixx.
I almost forgot. Almost forgot Nikki.
Yeah.
Slicky Nicky, that's what we always call him, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Slick Nick. Well, we got Slick Nick. That's
he was
right.
also really cooperative when we interrogated him.
Yeah. Growing up, were you always a big fan of music and going to shows? Was it an escape for you? Is it something you found later in life?
Always. Because my stepdad was also in a band. So when I was old enough, I used to help be a roadie for him at night so he would get home earlier.
Child labor laws, okay.
Yeah. No, well, I was old enough to go out, so I was an adult. So.
Oh, okay.
But as I've mentioned before, my first concert was Michael Jackson when I was
WMJ.
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 When I was 10 for my 11th birthday, I went with my mum. But then also my first rock and roll concert was U2, and I've seen them a bunch.
Yeah.
And then also my stepdad's brother was in a band that was the opening act for U2 and on their Australian gigs. So we saw them a couple of times. But then ever since, it was always when the big American bands come through, go see them. Pearl Jam, Foo Fighters. They only ever come to Australia once every couple of years because it's so far away. But of course, I'm a huge advocate for Australian music. So I'd always go to the local bars, the university pubs and whatnot, and watch local bands. And my best buddy, Jake, he was in several bands. So we would always go to, it's called The Basement. It wasn't really underground, but it was called The Basement. It's now one of the biggest live venues in Canberra, and it's the dinkiest little crap hole. But yet all these big bands come through there. We saw Hawthorne Heights there. Windrose went through there. If you don't know them, that's fine. But look them up.
I know them.
Don't,
yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Please. What's the song that we like when we listen to on the road?
Goodbye, Rainwater.
Goodbye, Rainwater. Yeah.
Goodbye, Rainwater.
That one's really good.
I love it. So much better live. Is it true that you're
Exactly like the CD guys. Good job.
studio version? Is it true that your buddy Jake wrote original songs for films?
He did. I asked him if he wanted to write some music for a film that we produced that I directed also, and you were in it. You weren't in it.
Detective Smith, you were in a movie.
He was in a movie.
Was I in a movie?
He was in a movie. I was in that movie too, as two separate characters. But yes, he did write an original song, and actually, if anyone watches it, it's the song that the movie plays out on. So
nice. And is that what brought you from Australia to Canada? Was directing and making movies?
It was. When I finished university in Australia, the second time I switched to doing art. And then I was like, what's next? So I was looking into going into US film schools, but they were ridiculously expensive and 4 years and extremely difficult to get into. And then someone suggested Vancouver because my mum was working with a lady who had their kids come to Vancouver for schooling. And I was like, oh, yeah, big industry here. So I looked at it, went to VFS for film.
VFS.
Vancouver Film School. Before it was the huge conglomerate money machine that it is today.
Yes.
Correct. Well, you know what? It's not looking good for you, my friend.
No. Yeah.
I have one last question, which is because it's looks like you're gonna be put away, even maybe death sentence.
Could be.
What would you want for your final meal?
I've never thought of it because I'm not a criminal. I'm innocent, I tell you.
Well,
10,
think of it now.
9.
I've got a time limit.
8.
Well, it would be a combination probably of all of my favorite meals growing up that my mum used to make.
Oh, so sizzle sausages.
Sausage sizzles and okay.
Vegemite.
And while you're eating that final meal, what would be the final song you'd want to listen to, Mr. Music Man? While you're
Is there a
eating that
genre you
meal?
don't like? Seems because you talked about WMJ, you got the pop, you got the rock, you got some metal stuff.
He likes country music. He goes to rodeos and stuff.
He was. I heard he
have you
was
seen him in
really,
cowboy
really.
boots?
I heard he was really sad when he couldn't get Taylor Swift tickets.
Yeah, he's a Swiftie.
I was originally a Swiftie. I had her first like 3 albums, and then I stopped. And now she's
Too
like,
pop.
now she's just, every time I see a magazine, there's like 10 different magazines with her on the cover. I'm like, there are
This says
other
nothing about her
artists out
music.
How dare
though.
you be successful?
there. I know, right?
Doesn't say anything about her music though.
Yes.
I couldn't tell you a
she
single
doesn't
after
pick
like
that.
a 4th album anymore. I'm like, I don't know anymore. Same with Beyonce. But to answer your question,
Yeah.
when I was younger, I used to be very, very anti rap music.
I remember.
Rap?
Yeah.
I remember.
Rap and hip hop. I was like, nope,
Yeah.
this is absolutely garbage. And I think it was because I liked rock and roll and I was the only one of my friendship group that did. Everybody else was like dance music, techno, hip hop. And of course I had to learn to like it because that was all that the clubs would play. So
Yep.
when you go out into town, it's like, let's start at a pub because the beer is cheaper. But then if you want to go dancing and try and pick up girls, you got to go to the nightclub. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I want to go clubbing with you.
Yeah.
And now, like, it probably started when, to be very, very quick, Justin was
Detective
Smith introduced me to, and he's like, you should listen to some of this stuff. And
It was some of the older stuff too,
Yeah.
I believe. It was like, oh yeah, you go ahead. You
yeah. And then I went back and I started with like old Public Enemy, LL Cool J, NWA, Ice Cube, Ice T,
tea.
Coolio.
6 a.m. police at my door. Fresh
Yeah.
Adidas sneakers to the kitchen floor. But okay, so what is the song you'd want to go out to?
I don't know. It would probably have to be something by Silverchair. After all these years.
We are the youth.
Nope.
We'll take your fascism away. We are the youth. Sorry, that one can't. Not.
I literally just said the song and you sung over it.
Yeah, I mean, I like had an opportunity to belt out Anthem of the Year. I like.
He does some really nice, like they do some really nice piano ballads stuff that aren't about his mental health issues. So probably something like that. Something from Silverchair would be.
So Meal from Mum and the song from Silverchair.
We'll get Tito to bring that all up, and we'll see you at the chair next week.
We'll see you in the
I'm
chair
pretty
next
sure
week.
I have to go to court before I get the death sentence.
No,
this
you're in
is
Canada.
Canada.
Yeah, Canada.
Yeah,
You're in
it's
Canada.
Canada.
So we
Yeah,
don't.
it's
We don't.
Canada.
know.
Cops have all the power, do they?
Yep.
That much so
Oh,
yep.
people want to be
Oh,
VPD.
yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, it was nice knowing you. Unfortunately, I wish. We could, good lord. See, he's
wanted
allergic.
to
He's allergic to criminals.
I'm allergic to lies.
So
I
next
wish
week
we got
won't be
to.
here.
I wish we had a chance to know you better and hang out, but unfortunately, it looks like your days were numbered for all the things we listed that you did that are clearly in Canada punishable by death. So
Horrific. Horrific death.
thank you for your time, Mr.
Hayden Woodhead.
John Woodhead,
Born November 1st, 1985.
whose brother Luke is very successful, and I want to have him on this podcast to ask about my tie 2 times. So I hope everyone listening learned a little bit more about Hayden. I certainly did.
Jean Woodhead.
I certainly did.
That was like a blip. A little blip.
Yeah. Oh
Sorry,
god. We
I'm
could
interrupting
do
your-
2 hours of
Yeah, seriously, that was fun.
It's
Yeah.
an ongoing series. If I don't
We'll take
die,
turns. We'll do
Well, I'm on death row.
We'll do one more
No,
person
no.
next.
I think
We'll
we should
Shao
always
next.
do. I think we should always do Hayden.
Yeah. It's a never-ending Hayden interview.
Every 4 episodes, we just get to learn about Hayden a little bit more. So this is
like that.
This is an overview. The next time will be just from age 0 to 8.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
When you were a rat bag.
And then
Thank you guys for tuning in, and always remember to like, subscribe, comment, email us if you have any more questions for Hayden over here. If you want to learn what he, all the other stuff that you didn't really talk about. But until then,
Keep on thumbing.
Clink, clink.
Ciao.
Tails light.